Hello, you guys, and thank you for tuning in once again. I'm coming to you today with another show because, sitting around at home, nothing to do. So I said, let me do another show and just talk about what's really going on right now with this COVID-19 and no place to go. Actually, if you do go places, you got to be extra careful. So I want to talk about sanitation, that cross contamination, so forth and so on. Thank you for tuning in. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Today, my topic is about sanitation, cleanliness, and COVID-19, you guys. Also, I'm going to throw in that unemployment that they're fighting over right now, about which way to go. We know they should go the $600 a week, okay? On that. The reason I say that because they're saying that people are just staying at home, um, taking advantage of the situation. No, people have to stay at home because they're afraid that they're going to get COVID-19. And then guess what? Everything will be shut down. Then there will be no jobs to go to. They're saying that, no, we don't want to do that because they don't want to go to work. They don't want to go to work. Well, where are they going to go to work at if these places are closed down? I mean, like today I had to go to the store and, I just wanted to pop here and there and everything was just shut down. I mean, where can you go to work? Those people that used to work the places that I used to go, they're not there. So it's not that they don't want to go to work. The places are actually closed down. And then I heard some major place out and like going towards Houston Intercontinental Airport. It's Huntsville, Texas, actually, and a major restaurant in that particular area closed down. So you know how many people, hundreds of people that lost jobs because they had to close down. And another place just burned down in Houston, and it was a restaurant for people in an entire southeast Houston. It was where people that didn't have cars could walk to. It was a meat market. It had everything from cigarettes, meat, bread, butter, eggs, necessity things that people needed. And it was burned down to the ground. They are investigating that because nobody knows what actually happened. However, it has hurt a huge community. They said on the news there was a man in a wheelchair. He almost cried about it because he says, I can't drive. I'm handicapped. This place here was very essential. That was an essential place for many of people, senior citizens and people just could not go. So think about all those people that don't have a job. During COVID-19, things are happening if you just keep your eyes open, all kind of fires, all kind of, I mean, it's like the world is coming to an end. You just have to hold on because the good has to suffer for the bad. Another reason I feel that this stuff is going on is because of the fact you have, say for instance, like I really miss going into church. I really do. I miss going into church. I miss going to the gym like I used to. I've gained weight. I know that because I can see it on TV, my little chin face, but who cares about that? My life is more important. But I'm just going to tell you, it is really serious, you guys. This COVID-19 is no joke. It is no joke. So, but what I was going to get to is um, I like going to church. But you know why I think so much is happening right now? It's called the Rude Awakening. And I'm just going to give some of my thoughts and my vibes of what I've been picking up of what's really happening. Many of us know that in church, a lot of the ministers, not right, not right. A lot of the people that go, sitting on the front row, not right. Just not right at all. They go to church. I'm going to speak for the women. A lot of the women go to church to put on their church hats and their clothes and to see what Bessie Sue have on and to sit over there and laugh at her shoes. Or, I mean, it's so much mess that goes on in church. And I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. Because I have 5 sisters, and we used to sit back in church when we were younger kids, didn't know any better, sit back and laugh at people. But that was before we got saved. But once we got saved, we knew better. But there are still people in my family and probably your family and everybody else's family go to church on Sunday morning. I mean, like almost deacons' wives and stuff. And the deacon is no good, the husband, nor the wife. Because they don't even speak to their own relatives, thinking that they're better than anybody else. And they're in church every Sunday fooling other people, but they can't fool their own family. So I'm not telling you what I think. You can say what you want. I'm telling you what I know, and it's even in my family, and I'm just being straight up and honest with you. Go to church every Sunday, curse like a sailor, do all kind of, illegal things, hurt people, talk about people, and the church people don't know it. They think the world of these people because these people are sheep's and wolves clothing. And I think that's why this pandemic has shut down the churches, the richness, the airports. God will put the brakes on if your heart is not right. We see it. Now listen, let me tell you this. But guess what? The good people, only the strong gonna survive. And we have to pay for the bad people, like all those people I'm talking about in church, all those preachers. I mean, I know women right now, girlfriends, people I went to school with that have dated ministers in the church, have done everything in the church. And then the minister finds out the minister has slept with Sally Sue, Bessie Mae. Oh my gosh. Have even had babies on people in the church. Have hurt their wives. But have the minds of so many people. God is tired of it. And I know many hold all the money. Nobody knows where the money is going. Nobody. I mean, I know a girl, and again, I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling these are facts. It's no joke. I know a girl that came in my business, and I'm not going to name the church, but it was a church in California. When I was there, I had my business there. And the girl house burned down. She had been paying her tithes 18 years, 18 to 20 years. Had been going to that church since she was very young. And guess what? She went to the church. It had houses that could have housed her. No help. Didn't help her at all. We don't have the money. A big church. A church that had houses. Now guess what? That church is shut down due to the pandemic. So you can make millions, you can make billions. But God sits high and he looks low. I don't care. I almost started to curse. I said, I don't give a damn what you got. I mean, I've had it all. It never mattered to me because I thank God I already knew who he was. I mean, I used to let people drive people I didn't even know drive my Benzes or whatever kind of cars I had. That stuff never mattered to me because it was just a piece of tin. And some people in my family would say, why you let her drive your car? Why you let him drive your car? I said, because I have insurance. That stuff never mattered to me. And I guess that's why God always blessed me. I never even cared or wanted. Right now, people that have all the airplanes, Lamborghinis, everything, where are they going to go? So see, I'm really happy that I already knew this. And you may have already known it, but you may know people that didn't know it. And I know you know people that didn't know that all this stuff belongs to God. I know you know many people in your family. You have people, oh, I got this, I got that, and try to be a snob with all this stuff. And, you know, and also people that think they're cuter because of their skin tone or their nose is sharper than yours or they're taller or their hips are bigger and or if they're not big, they're going to go out and buy them because they can afford it. And but guess what? You got to hide your face now. You got to hide it. Just like I wear makeup. If I wasn't doing this show, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it, and you wouldn't see it because I have to wear a mask. I don't have to, but I'm wearing my mask. So what I'm saying, it doesn't matter who you are. Treat people like you wish to be treated. I don't care what you got because guess what? It don't belong to you. No way. You can see it. And so I feel that that's why COVID is, it's bigger than what your mind can think. It's more to it. People are saying, oh, it's because of this, oh, it's because of that, so-and-so did this test, so-and-so made this, they brought it over here, this, that, and it came from China, yada, 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 yada. But who created heaven and earth? And who's tired of the mess? I think it's God, personally, because he's the only one to take the brakes off and make it be bright again. And the good, as I said before, has to suffer for the bad. It's a sacrifice we have to make for him to wake up these churches, taking all these people money, dogging people, screwing every woman in the church. Like that pastor that was somewhere in Texas having oral sex with his wife's uh, best friend's daughter. They made a bad name for the churches, these ministers that was going around doing all this stuff. Made a bad name. Now, I'm not saying that people are not human. Men will be men. I mean, we all have men in our family. I'm not saying that. But if you are in the limelight, you are guiding, that is the worst thing you can do is be a minister and do wrong. Because God is saying, you sitting up here in my pulpit trying to tell people what's right. And you're the biggest devil in here. I'm going to stop you in your tracks. You're not going to make another dime. So all the millions and millions and millions of dollars are stopped right now because of COVID-19. And you know many people are not paying their tithes like they would if they were actually in the church. We do have the virtual. Thank God for that. He's still trying to help them while he's teaching people that are evil a lesson. So all of the people that thought they was cuter than the next one, this, that, and the other, you know, it's really something. All the people that went and got the nose jobs done, this, that, and the other, they have to hide all that with a mask. What good is it to go and get a facelift and all this stuff and you gotta hide? So that's what God is saying. All of the people that think they're better than anybody else and trying to change what he did, their features, their this, their that, to try to show out and try to outdo the next person. Stop it, he says. Stop. He didn't say stop. He stopped it. He stopped the world. And I shouldn't be laughing, but I just see what's really going on. It's a bigger picture. And also, he stopped the nail shops. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not racist, none of that. But he stopped the nail shops from making all the money over here and not supporting money back over here. He did. I mean, I have given, I don't know how much money over all my life for nails, getting my nails done. And actually, in California, I had a business and I hired a Chinese girl in my business because I said, well, if black people are going to Chinese shops, why don't I hire a Chinese girl and let them come here to my shop, my business? And so that's what I did. And I mean, the girl wrapped up. And so she told me, I said, why can you guys do nails so cheap? She said, the reason we can do nails cheap is because over in our country, we send the money over back to China, and the little money we make, it's a whole lot more over there. So that money from here, by the time you take it over there and trade it in, it's a lot more. And I was like, oh, that's why you can charge $10 for a fee or a refill on the nails. I was getting educated by her because I never, ever knew why. And so the black people didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance. They couldn't compete with that. And so they were making money all around and sending it back. And so, it was just unbelievable, the people that she would have coming to her. I'm serious. It was really something. And so that was a good idea that I did because of the fact that the people that would have been going somewhere else to another shop, they were able to come into my shop and not have to go to a shop outside, which kept money into the business to keep the business going. And another thing I want to tell you is that they're very smart when it comes to making money, and this is why we have to wake up and be smarter. Let me tell you why. It's because the same lady that I hired, she moved back to China, you guys, and she didn't tell me. So the next day on the appointment books, it was a lot of people that wanted nails done. And you know what? It was a man came in the shop in my business. And I said, where's Kim? Where's Kim? He goes, she went back to China. I said, what? I said, you mean to tell me she went back to China and she didn't tell me, and you're coming in my business to take her place and work without my consent? And guess what? I had to let him work because it was booked with people from her. So you see how they do it? Black people better wake up. And then when I got educated on everything, and then she was telling me how her dad had cooked her family cat, and after she had bonded with the cat, her dad had cooked the cat, and she told me that she had one child over there and she had to have the child natural because they don't give you anything, and she couldn't have any more because either you pay for it or go to jail if you have, too many kids because of the population over there. I mean, it is really something how the Chinese people come over here to the United States of America. They make the money, but they don't give it to us, to the United States. So that's really what's going on, I think, right now. And again, I'm not prejudiced. So if any Chinese people are watching my channel today, I'm just telling you like it is. I'm telling you what other Chinese people have told me. That's how they do it. And so, like I said, they're money-oriented people. And we should be the same way. But I don't think it's fair that all the money should go out. I think if black people go to a white establishment, black people go to a Chinese establishment, I think they should support the black people also. Fair exchange is no robbery. I mean, black people have been put down so long, and that's why the Black Lives Matter movement is today. It's because black people have been put down so long until the good black people had to suffer for the ones they said was bad, and that would put a negative on our businesses and everything. Not that we couldn't do the job, because when we do a job, we do it better than anybody else because we've already been slaving and working way back in slavery days for the Caucasian people. The stories my grandmother would tell me, and she was 97 when she passed. I'm the seventh sibling, and she would always tell me these stories of how they used to iron their clothes and have a crease in the clothes so sharp, and they wouldn't want nobody to iron them but them. And, so these are facts. And it's not anything about racism or anything. It's just about what's really, really real, what really has happened, and it cannot be denied, especially by me, because I'm straight up African American. I'm not trying to hide it. I have Caucasian people I know and stuff, but I'm black. And I'm not trying to act like I'm not. and I love anybody that will love me back. But if you're racist against me, I don't give a damn about you. And that's just the way it is. That's how I feel about it. But I was just telling that story about how the Chinese people always made all the money, but it never ever, they wouldn't spend no money with you. Matter of fact, they wouldn't hire you. Now they're hiring you in the hair shops. That's because they need you for, to pick out the hair for the African American people. They need you. Because if they didn't need you, and it took years and years and years, and also you're on the front line, so if somebody coming in shooting, you're going to get shot first. Okay? So a lot of times it's about need, not about love. Where is the love, everybody? Where is the love? And now I'm going to talk about love of a father. As I said in the earlier part, I said it's going to be about COVID-19, about what's really going on. And now it's about the men and unemployment. Many men have been to court. They're ordered to pay unemployment. Men, not unemployment, men in stimulus checks. That's what I meant. I said unemployment because that was on my mind, because that extra 600 should be extended to keep people from being evicted. But basically, I wanted to talk about the men and the stimulus checks, because many of them didn't get them last time due to the old child support. If the judge have ordered them, and if they've already made arrangements on payments for child support, I feel that they deserve the stimulus check because the arrangements are already made. If the mother feels, well, he's not doing enough, he's not, I have to take the kid to school, I have to do this, I have to do that. Well, give yourself a break and allow him to be a part of his child's life, and take the child to his house and give yourself a break. Just because you guys are feuding with each other, please don't put the child in the middle of it. But I still say men, fathers that are paying child support and wants to be a part of their children's lives should get the second round of stimulus checks. And I did a show about that, and one lady said, well, yeah, I think so too, because actually I gave mine some of the money. I gave mine some of the money. And I think there was a man that was keeping a child, and I think the man gave the woman some of the money. You see what I'm saying? So that's where love set in with the child. And as I said on the other previous video, women have to remember you're not his blood, but that child is. So the reason you can't get the attention that the child gets, because you're not the blood to the man you love. Not the blood to the one you love. So let him go and let the kid have their father, because it's called parental alienation when you don't. And let the kid feel complete and whole, and let them be happy. Because just because I'm not happy, I'm not going to make my child unhappy. I'm not. If I'm unhappy with him, I want her to be happy with him. Many women get jealous of that, but that's just the way it is, because they're blood and you're not. So a lot of times people forget that, even when they get married. Say, for instance, if a woman gets married to a man, and the man had kids, and he shows extra love to the children than their stepmother. The stepmother sometimes can get jealous because she expects the same kind of love, because just because she's married on paper does not mean she's blood, even though you're bonded as one and the wife's supposed to come first and all of that. Yes, we know that. However, it's not going to happen. Blood is thicker than water. Remember that one. Everybody, parents taught them that. So on the unemployment, you guys, they should extend that $600 due to all of these people being evicted from their homes. And they should stop the eviction so that people cannot get evicted, and give these people monies to pay their house notes, monies to pay their apartment notes, monies to put food on the kids' table. That extra $600, people were very quiet. I mean, people were more happier during the pandemic time, and I think it has to be extended real soon because if not, you heard about those 300,000 people in Louisiana. That's not including other states that this stuff has happened to, where people are about to get evicted. If they don't pass that stimulus like tomorrow, and stop the eviction, because many of them, the evictions are already in process. So they have to stop it immediately so that these people will not be on the streets. So you guys, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's really going on out here in the world and how God's put the brakes on people that thought there was more than you, me, and everybody. And because when he made a man, he made him be the way he wanted, the color he wanted them to be. It's nobody. I don't care how light, white, blonde, or whatever you are, or even black, blue, green, yellow, orange. Get this. No better than the next person. Tall, model, actress, Hollywood, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, diamond rings, beautiful teeth. I didn't have mine done. Many people say, did you have your teeth? I didn't even go to a dentist, you guys, until, let's see, I was about 25. Because it was too many of us. Remember, I'm the seventh sibling. They couldn't afford to send me to the dentist. And many people would say, oh, look like you went to the dentist. You got all your teeth? And I said, put your finger in my mouth. I said, I'm going to bite you. Oh, and I got them all the way back. But yeah, so the thing of it is, I don't care what you got, how pretty it is, or what it is. I'm glad I already knew that. Because can you imagine how a lot of the people in Hollywood feeling right about now that's not making money? And many of them were just about to become famous. And not to mention Tyler Perry, he opened up that huge, huge plantation. Oh my God, I hope he makes it. Because that was a bad timing. After that fantastic grand opening, I was so excited for him. Everything was just, oh my God. Oh my God. And I don't know if he paid cash for it or if he got a loan on it, but all I know is you couldn't really act. You know, me being an actress, I couldn't even cast for anything because I don't want to anyway. Because money don't mean anything if you did. So, because when you cast, you got to actually be in people's face, you know, and all up in the face, hey, baby, and you got to kiss them and you got to, just and spit may come out your mouth. You may spit at them or anything. You know, acting is really something. I love acting. But, yeah, I've done a lot of things, but right now, no casting. I've done a lot of voiceovers, online, virtually, and things of that sort. But nobody's really, really paying big money for anybody right now. So the people that made the money right now, guess what they're doing? Unless they have proper insurance and even their other investments, you guys. You see what I'm saying? How God will stop you? Stop. When everything is too much everything. You think, oh, I got this, that. I'm a movie star. I'm this. Everybody is a star in God's eyes. Remember that. Every human being that God made is a star. And you know why? Because he created them. No star. And I'm really happy my mother taught me that one. She says, no star better than you, baby. No star, because God made you. You was a star when he did it. And that's why he's stopping people in their tracks, so they can know that no one is beneath you just because you have billions of dollars. Could those billions save people that died in the movie stars and families, loved ones? Could the money save them? No. No. Could the billions cure COVID? No. What does that tell people? We're all in this together. And it can be a happy place if people know that and put all of that I'm this and that better than you to the side and just make the world a happy place. And that's what is going on during this pandemic. God is trying to wake people up. And I'm glad I was already woke. I just have to take the ride like everybody else. Just go for the ride because one day it's going to be over, whether it's going to be here or whether it's going to be in heaven or hell. It's going to be over one day. But right now, while we're here, we should try to make the best of life. And all of the Hollywood stars, I really do pray for them because a lot of them, a lot of the movies are not being made anymore. A lot of them, like Tiffany Haddish and my girlfriend that I know, Linnell, and all of these people from, California. We used to have our little TV shows together. And she was always so great in the Bay Area, just so wonderful. And so she made it to Hollywood. And I just wish her the best because she was just getting in the door. And I pray for all of the people that I knew from way back in the day that have made it. And then now this at a time like this when they were making it. So I wish all the best, and I'm praying that her and Tiffany Haddish and all of the newcomers will continue to blow up like never before when this pandemic is over. Because, when you start out with somebody and you see them grow, it really hurts you. And I just sometimes want to cry. I say, oh, well, she was doing good. And, oh, she had made it to Jimmy Kimmel. And we were on a show. It was called Soul Beat. That's who trained me, Linnell, and a lot of the people out of the Bay Area acting and gave us, that very start in life. And so, like Linnell and Laura Hayes and all of those people used to come in my business in California. And I just wish that they could continue and be blessed in their endeavors. I really do. And so I decided not to move to LA. I moved back home to Texas because my mom was bedridden. But otherwise, I would have been in Hollywood also. But Hollywood is wherever you make it be. And I landed a lot of my roles in Good Housekeeping magazine, as you can see behind me. I landed all of that in Houston when I came home to be with my bedridden mother. And actually, when I landed that article you see behind me, it was so amazing because instead of me going to LA, like many of the people in there, like Linnell and Laura Hayes and Mark Curry, all of them, I used to do Mark Curry's mother in my business, and they all went to LA. I came home to be with my mother. And before that, I landed my first commercial in Australia. Um, but it's something about that article that's behind me in the camera. It is a story because when I decided to come home to my bedridden mother, my mother and my grandmother were both bedridden, and I said, instead of going to LA, I'm coming back home with my mother. And guess what? I received a call, and they go, hi, we want to audition you. We have an opportunity for you to be in our prestigious magazine. So I'm like, oh, really? So I guess someone saw my television show. The show, like I said, Linnell, we were all trained by Chuck Johnson. He's deceased now. And I had a TV show like she did. And we had it like once a week. And we'd go to the studio and do our shows. And someone evidently saw the show, so somehow it got to LA from the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area. And they called me. And when the lady said, hi, my name is Annie, I said, hi, Annie. The reason I could say Annie so good, that was my mother's name, who I came home to be with, you guys. Her name was Annie. The lady had the top editor of Good Housekeeping magazine in New York City, had my mother's name. I just couldn't believe it. And I said, sure. So it took us a year process to get that magazine out. And it was the cover story. We made the cover story. And it was just so amazing because I just could not believe that she had my mother's name. And so after the process, it took a year and everything, and I was doing commercials going here and there, and so then finally, when the magazines hit the stands, she called me, the editor in New York, Annie, and she says, I was on my way to my business because I had moved the one in Houston. I was flying back and forth to both. And she says, I want to let you know the magazine's on the stand and the pose that we picked for you is far different than anyone else. And I was like, really? And I'm like really active. So as you can see, my arms are in the air. I was just, oh, I'm a free bird. and so, and so she says, you got to see the one that we picked. Because on the beach, we did it on the beach in Miami. And they did not know, Good Housekeeping did not know I'd already did a commercial on that same beach. So I was in the same location and they didn't even know. So I was really happy, feeling free, like I'm here again. And so when it hit the stands, I just couldn't believe that pose you see in the background there. That's why I keep it in the background of my shows, because it was just really touching story, because she had my mother's name. And not only did she have my mother's name, when the editor told me that the magazine had hit the stands, actually I was in the airport and I was buying a lot of them because they were sending me some in the mail, but I was on my way to California from Texas. And the people in the airport, they were like, why are you buying all those magazines? They don't have no black people in a Good Housekeeping magazine. And I said, well, I landed a full page story about my success. And they were like, you in that magazine? And I said, yes, I'm in the magazine. I said, actually, a full page story about me. And they were like, not Good Housekeeping, not the oldest magazine in the world. I said, yes, I did. So I was signing autographs, for them in the airport. And by the time I got to my business in California, um, I went to my email because I wanted to let her know I had gotten the magazine and everything. And I was telling her how grand it was and everybody loved it. In California, all the people in my business that work there, they just loved the article and they loved the pose because it was me and four other girls. I was the only African American featured in this particular article. And I was the only one with that pose. Everybody else was just like they was walking on the beach. And I remember they flew in a photographer. I think he was from Italy or somewhere. Anyway, he said, do your thing. So on the beach, I just went, I was just smiling and posing, and they picked that one. It was unreal. So then I said, oh my God, I said, I'm just so excited. I said, and I wanted to tell you that my mother's name is Annie like yours. And I said, I just didn't want to tell you and make you nervous because sometimes when you tell people something like that, it sounds kind of weird. It can spook you out if it's that deep and you can't really understand it. So I waited until it hit the magazine stands and I called her I emailed her and then she emailed me back and she says, I said, my mother's name was Annie. I said, and she passed one day before my birthday. And so she emailed me back and she says, well, what day was that? When did your mother pass? And I said, she passed January 31st and I'm February the 1st. And guess what, you guys? She said, well, guess what? I said, what? She says, I'm born on the day your mother passed. Not only do I have her name. Oh, did it give me chills. I knew that was my mother saying, thank you for coming home to Houston instead of going to LA. So see, it doesn't matter where you are. When God has it for you, it's for you. You can be way in the woods somewhere and he'll just go pick you up out of the woods and place you where he wants you to be. And so not only did I land that, but also I land an article in a Hearst publication that's at Barnes and Noble's bookstore from that, and it just kept going on. And I have an agent, and so I do a lot of things, but it all stemmed from me coming home to be with my bedridden mother instead of going to Hollywood and becoming that big star. And so I landed a couple of sad commercials, which landed me that. as a principal actress. Uh, the one that landed me, that first SAG commercial, was in Newport Beach, California, you guys. And so I'm looking for other girls. When they kept calling me, oh yeah, actually they called me. I was on the Yama Van Zant show. That was when she was with Barbara Walters before her and Oprah got back together. Remember when they had fallen out and everything? And I was on one of her shows towards the end of her show with Barbara Walters in New York. And then after that, they just kept calling me for just, so many different things. And then I think it was like a year or so later, they put me in a Hearst book and at Barnes and Noble's bookstore. So when people like you and they like your personality, that's how it is. So then I got a call to go to do another commercial. And I was in Newport Beach. Well, I'm going to tell you how that story went. I was called to do a commercial in Newport Beach, California. But because I had two business locations, I was flying from Texas to the Bay Area, and I'd already gotten my ticket. So when they called me to set up my itinerary to come to Newport Beach, California, I told them, well, I already have a ticket, so I'm closer to you in the Bay Area, which would be maybe 45 minutes flight from the Bay Area to Newport Beach, maybe 30 minutes or so. And I said, so that would save the company money, and I could just fly from where I am, from my house out there, and go from there. And they was like, oh, that's great, okay. So they set it all up for me. And guess what? You know how the devil talks to you. The devil said, why don't you call them back and tell them that, why don't you call and get your money back from the airlines and then let them pay for you to fly to California? Now, I've already told them that I'm going to be there already. I've already had my ticket. And the devil told me to do that. Get your money back. Since you're going to be there anyway, let them do it. Why should you have to pay your money if they're calling you to fly you to the Bay Area? You're going to be out there anyway. Let them pay for it. But guess what? I didn't do that. The angel said, don't do that. That's not nice. You already have the ticket. You've already told the people you have the ticket. You go ahead and you fly on, where you're going to your house there, because I have a house out there. And so I flew there to my house, and I was already there for that date, because it was some days apart. And so I had to wait a few days before it was time to fly to go to do the commercial in Newport Beach. But guess what, you guys? When I went to do the commercial in Newport Beach, the day that I was to do that commercial, it was the biggest Hurricane Ike that ever hit. And if I would have changed my itinerary to make them pay for it, I would not have landed that SAG commercial, because I wouldn't have been able to fly out. And in the acting business, if they need you then, that's when they want you. I could have lost out on the money. I could have lost out on SAG. I could have lost out that SAG commercial. And on SAG commercials, you get your royalties every time you play it. I know that was God, because I didn't change anything. And so guess what? With that Ike situation, I could not even fly back into Texas, period. I had to stay at my house in California for an entire month. And everyone in Texas, in Houston, they were like, oh my God, you are so lucky, because it was a nightmare. How did you miss that? As a matter of fact, when I was doing the commercial, I was a little nervous, because they knew what was going on at my home in Texas, in Houston. And they were like, just relax, just relax. I think they gave me some champagne to relax or something, because I was still thinking about what was actually going on. Was my house going to be still standing in Houston? Was it going to be torn down? What was happening? I couldn't call anybody. It was just, oh my God. And, but afterwards, everything was fine. I just had roof damage, and I didn't have any problems. The insurance company, by the time I got back to Houston, they already had a check in my mailbox, because they came out and they checked my roof while I was in California. So I had no problems. Everything was just superb, and I landed the Screen Actors Guild. So when I got home, I had the letter from Screen Actors saying that I had made it as a screen actor. And that was in Newport Beach, California. That was the commercial. So I was looking around when they picked me up, my driver. I'm looking around for everyone else because I'm thinking it's more girls, more actresses going to be with me as in the past. They go, no, Josie, this is your day. You are going to be the star today. And I noticed everybody was changing my stories. I had different hairstyles coming in, people picking up my wardrobe. And I'm like, and I was really nervous. And then also the Ike, word about Ike. And so that was really, really something. And I was the only one doing that commercial. And I recall it was in a kitchen, just walking in the kitchen saying, hi, look at me, just really doing everything that they told me to do. And it came out superb. So I was thankful for that. But yeah, so that's my story about acting, about what's going on in the world, and how I came home to be with my bedridden mother instead of going to Hollywood. And I am so happy that I did, because I have people live in Hollywood. Like I said, they said it is bad out there. I mean, shut down, really. This COVID-19 is no joke. So protect yourself, stay safe, um, and let's try to keep this thing together. Everybody should love everybody. Doesn't matter what you have. Because all the stuff you have and all the stuff you have, like even with me, have stuff I can't wear. I just give away stuff. I don't even, you know what? I don't even want stuff no more. I don't want stuff no more. I'll even go to Goodwill. If I'll see something on the streets, it could be $5, and to me, it's worth a million if it's something I like. So I don't care about trying to be, something that I'm not. And then sometimes when you buy little stuff, like even what I have on this little shirt, I saw it, I liked it, not because it says black or anything, but it was just something that I liked. And sometimes when you buy something and you don't pay a lot for it, when I would take stuff backstage, because that's, I started out doing people backstage, all the celebrities. I'm a celebrity artist, key makeup artist for it. I've done the Black filmmakers in Oakland, done a lot of things. Um, when I take things that are cheap, I used to take stuff from the flea market. All the celebrities wanted it. Matter of fact, I got pictures. One day I'm going to do a show and I'm going to show you guys. They wanted everything that I had, and it was just little cheap stuff. So see, it goes to show you, it's just what you pick. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It matters what looks good on you. And they would buy this stuff from me backstage. So God is letting people know we all in this together. It doesn't matter who you are, what you got, you know. And a lot of times people fool you because they have on something they went to Goodwill for, and you thinking that they paid $1 million for it. And I'm not mad at them because I like vintage shopping myself. I really do, because you can get something that nobody else will have because it could have been one of a kind. Someone could have flown out of the country to buy it. Somebody could have tailor-made it. I used to have things tailor-made just so you won't see yourself coming and going and all this stuff. It doesn't matter. What matters is what makes you happy. I'm going to end my show with that, and I hope you enjoyed the little story that I told you about myself, about the unemployment extension should extend to keep people from being homeless. The parent fathers who love their children should get a second stimulus check, and people who thought that they were more than the next person should stop it and see that God will stop and shut it down as he did. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and I will be coming back because this is real talk. Whether people like it or not, one thing about it, it's real. Talk to you later. Bye.